Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share with you 5 signs that you are a lot closer than you think to experiencing your desires. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back. My name is Dom and I help people to step into their truth and power. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 signs that you are a lot closer than you think to experiencing your desires. And so before I get started, I'd like to invite you into realizing that no matter where you may be in your thinking or feeling right now, know that you are on track. You are on track and right where you need to be in the moment. There are no mistakes, and there are no mistakes that you are watching this video from me either. There is a reason why you're here right now in this moment with me. And so I invite you to do this, because if you find yourself in the middle of chaos or in the middle of a storm, in centering yourself into this idea that you're right on track and there are no mistakes, this will begin to bring you into that calm inside the eye of the storm. So number 1 of the 5 things that you know you're a lot closer than you think you are is that things that don't resonate with where you want to be going will begin breaking down around you. And in not so subtle kinds of ways either. And this experience can be a little overwhelming sometimes because it can introduce a lot of uncomfortable change for us. This can be especially true with your career. That's the area that really hit me hard for the first time in practicing this stuff. When people get to a certain stage of their life and begin experiencing an awakening that what they've been investing their time into day after day is sucking the life right out of them. When they begin doing this, they begin to see everything differently and begin to realize, I don't really like my job. And in fact, I'm freaking hating it. And I can see more clearly now that I only got into it because I was influenced to do something that made good money without fully taking into account how my heart felt about doing that kind of work. And so from that decision, my life kind of unfolded, and now I find myself in this place that I invested 20 years into a career that I hate, and I'm feeling trapped in. And so this begs the question, what do I do? What do I really want? And then you begin feeling into that with what your true desires are and realize, you know what? I would like something else. And then you begin thinking, I may want to be this. And so as soon as you start thinking about this in your mind, guess what happens? The job that you are hating begins to break down in many ways. Maybe you receive a pay cut, or your benefits are being cut in half, or maybe you're working so many hours you're working like a dog, or maybe you've been asked to change work locations and it's making it really difficult for you to do your job because it's just sucking the energy right out of you. And so every day you're coming home from work feeling exhausted and drained. And you know this job is trying to leave your life, but energetically, you're just trying to hold on to it. And as the experience unfolds, you begin thinking, but this new thing over here hasn't even come into my life yet. But I need this before I can let go of this. But in the new way of doing things, it says, nah, it doesn't work like that. So for me, this is where I was in my career for so long until I finally made the decision to earn my certifications to become a master coach. A month after I made that decision and I started my trainings for certification, my dad passed away unexpectedly. And a month after that, the company I worked for 18 years went bankrupt and I didn't receive any severance. Things really began breaking down. But in those breakdowns, I was learning some really important life lessons, and I was learning a lot about myself. And that was the ability to first let go of things and to trust where my heart was leading me. And in the letting go, I discovered it created space for me to really step into the new. So when things are breaking down, like your job, and it's saying to you, I know you don't want me anymore, so let me fall away. When that happens, the idea isn't to cling onto it, but to actually let it go. Tune into your intuition and that knowing within that the next thing, that life that you really want to live, is ready for you to step into. But you gotta let go first. For me, nothing happened immediately except a big sense of relief in a sense, because I didn't have this big decision to make anymore. But in a few weeks, my life began to change. I dove into my training even deeper. I launched my business and was being paid for my coaching, talking to cool people from all over the country and the world, helping them to break through what's keeping them stuck so that they can experience doing what their heart is desiring them to do. That is what I wanted to do and continue to do to this day. Living my dream, loving and looking forward at what I get to do each day. My dream that I thought was going to take 5 or 10 years to carefully plan out and execute was actually coming true in a matter of months. Once I finally let go, trusting that I'm going to be okay, and allowed myself to go where my heart was leading me to go. And then at that point, my life really felt like it was taking a quantum leap in a way and at a speed I never thought was ever humanly possible. Now, of the 5 ways you know you're closer, number 2 is you experience information overload. Often when we ask God or the universe for something, what can happen is that we begin receiving realizations of all these different aspects in our life that need to be tweaked or changed in order to get this thing we really desire to happen. And that experience can be extremely overwhelming. And this happens because you say, I want this, but there is a problem. And this over here is a problem. And over there, I've got this to clean up this mess. And what about this over here? And what about her? And what about this guy? And oh my God, it can feel like I'm never going to get this because there's just too much work to do. And so when we experience this, we don't want to push it away or ignore it. We've got to stay grounded and to take it all in. And once you begin taking it in, chunking it down into small actionable steps, there is always a finite amount of adjustments that you need to make. But once you start doing this, you begin synchronistically attracting solutions to move through the things that need your attention in very surprisingly and often speedy ways. So if you're being bombarded by all the blocks, that's a good thing. You need this awareness to confront and face them. And so the first step, of course, is to become aware. Because we can't change something if we're not aware. We need to change something first. Number 3 of the 5 ways you know you're getting close is you experience an information purge or a rewrite. So once you become aware and you begin to get out of your own way, you'll begin seeing that there are some things that you've been carrying around with you for a long time, often since childhood, that are either not true or at the very least not serving you well anymore, giving you an opportunity to make a choice to step into your power and to begin to change or rewrite some old beliefs or experiences that you had into now newer, more life-enhancing beliefs and experiences that are going to support and to take you where your heart really wants to be, and to not expect yourself to do it perfectly, but just from the best of your ability in terms of where you are today. Number 4 out of 5 of knowing that you're getting close is don't settle. Often when we're moving forward, we are given options, but some of the options aren't quite right. It's like all of the important boxes are not checked. It is so very important in this stage that we don't settle, that we stay in strong intention and belief that our manifestation, our desire, will have all of the important boxes checked, and to be open to what that situation might look like. What it looks like may be very different from what you're expecting. And so it's important to be open and curious when different opportunities present themselves. We don't go through these storms and doing all of this internal work and having this bombardment of emotion and thoughts just to wind up settling in the end. You go through all of this so that you can manifest and release what it is you truly want, whether it's a career, a relationship, or some other strong desire that you want to have. Because that job or that person that shows up can be 100 times better than the expectation we're holding. Because when we're operating from that higher level of consciousness and when we trust in the higher order of things, all of these different scenarios begin setting up for you and begin to get beyond anything your mind can actually fathom of even being possible for you. So let it be just like that. Wait and be in expectation of that big, oh my God, this is it moment. That experience where you're saying, my mind is blown. There are so many synchronicities and everything now is making sense to me. So don't settle. Expect things to come together and be better than you're expecting to occur for you. Last but not least, number 5, you'll experience signs and confirmations of things. So as you go through this, you'll be receiving different kinds of signs and confirmations from people, from situations, even nature will give you signs. It will blow your mind where you may even begin to think that it's coinky-dinky, but then you look at the chances, and the chances are so remote that it would be nearly impossible for all these things to happen in such a synchronistic kind of way, and at such the right time for all of these things to come together the way that they have. You become aware and see that there is seemingly a higher order in charge of everything. So whether you pray or meditate, be sure to ask to receive signs and confirmations. So many of us want them, but we never ask for them. We just seemingly expect them to occur. Maybe you've heard the saying, ask and you shall receive. This is where you'll get to experience the truth in that saying, because these signs and confirmations come to let you know that you're on the right track and to guide you towards taking one path over another. When we're in the middle of a breakdown, it can be really easy to lose sight of this. We want to be in a spirit and energy of expectation, not from a place of neediness or victimhood when we're asking for confirmations, in spite of the emotional or mental storms you may be finding yourself in. So remember that you're always right on track. You're right where you need to be in this moment, and that there are no mistakes. And so with that, I'm curious, what aha moment or golden nuggets of wisdom are you taking from this video today? I want to be able to continue to encourage you to embrace this so that you can begin living out your desires as well. It will really impact and change your life. I'd also like to take this opportunity to invite you to join my brand new free online community, Pro Empowerment Online. I'm sharing valuable tips and content each week in the newsfeed, but even more, you'll have the ability to join in the conversation in a place where we can share freely without being shut down or censored. And I've also loaded some brand new online courses that I've created that you can register for. To join me in that community, it's 100% free. Just click on the Pro Empowerment Online link in the comments and description box below. So I want to thank you for joining me today, and until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.